All right, man. I want to go to this next topic, man. Shout out. So, I had no idea. I felt like Dr. Umar. I said I had no idea that this was even going on. So for this to make the most sense, man, it's not gonna hit the same if I don't show y'all the infamous encounter with Kendra G and Kevin Samuels, where she called, right, and they had a conversation, and the conversation that Kevin was having with her was basically about the truth of the matter. You know what I'm saying? In terms of what options older women have. But we're gonna go ahead and let it play.
41, right? So when I listened to the women, when I was in the 30s, when I heard the girls from up here, they remind me of myself because I was like, he got to have a lot of money. He got to take care of all the bills. That's what I was on. And I run in those circles. But what I've learned is a lot of those men just couldn't be faithful. So then I learned, well, that's my deal breaker. Faithfulness is my deal breaker. So I've been blessed.
So
my
the question I have then
okay.
is, because I hear what you're saying, but then I'm also like, yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Because you 41 years old, married, any kids?
Nope, I froze my eggs though, so I got a safety net just in case.
So you're accustomed to a certain standard of life.
This is true.
And if a man is making the median of what a black man is making, 42,005, he can't afford your standard of life.
So is that my problem?
See, it's the reality of the world. See, what happens far too often, especially in our communities, black women wait too long to get married. You wait till you're too old. You wait till you have too much experience, and your experience and your income has gone up, and that is inversely proportional to your sexual marketplace value.
So can I speak to that?
So let me finish making the example, because I hear women come on and say, you know what, that high value thing, I really don't want that because I don't want to have to share him. All right.
You know what? And you know what's funny about that whole conversation is that it's more than that. And that was a good conversation to get started. Of, for one, putting more of like more words to it, more logic to it. And this is when we get to these conversations about women and these invisible men that they're waiting for. You know what I mean? And the point he's making is so, I don't say profound, but it's the reality, and it all points to, it's really hard to have a relationship with a woman who's older, who's already, especially if she's had many relationships or she's never been married. And for the most part, if she has kids, she's it's like, she's like, that her man is the guy she had kids with. It's really hard for you to kind of like replace him in her heart. You know what I mean? And but not only that, it makes it more obvious how much that women have to start earlier. Because I've been talking to my friends about this. I talk about this all the time about how, like, my best friend, he knew his wife when she was a younger woman and she was still in her 20s. You know what I'm saying? I think she was like 27, like when they met. So she was still a younger woman. You know what I mean? So he got to see her as a young woman, you know what I mean? And, and grow with her, right? And also they have a great life together because they got it together. They may have certain conversations about certain things, but that's how the American dream is actually achieved. All right, it's two people coming together and combining resources, and that's why they've been able to live in the suburbs since 2014. They had been able to live in the suburbs and never have to worry about where he's going to live at, no eviction, none of that stuff, because they have two middle class incomes. That's how it's actually done. And she didn't wait forever to meet a man. And what you find is that women especially women who've experienced men with money, it only takes one. Because it's my theory that most women, the only way you're going to experience multiple men with money is if you're a sex worker. There's no other way that happens. I mean, for the most part, even when I'm looking on these dating apps, right? Because I started getting back on the Facebook dating app because it's still free. So I'm going to be screenshotting. I can't find anything that's too good. But for the most part, you'll even see cute girls talk or pretty girls talking about how they don't go nowhere. please take me on a date. I want to go out. I want to do what I'm saying. And like, and of course, shout out to AC. It's lockout season, baby. All right. We're in renegotiations. We're going to get this right. All right. All the men are all finally on the same page about this dating shit. And a lot of us are saying, yo, the economy is too tough right now to be wasting money. All right. And wasting time, but I can put that time into earning more. You know what I'm saying? Like what I'm doing right now. Shout out to the GOAT KS. Long finish cooking.
But then, are you going to be able to look at a man making $45,000 a year and respect him to the same level that a high value man would be respected?
I would respect a man who's hardworking, and as long as he doesn't try to minimize me in any way. Now, that's the biggest thing. If he's okay with me being my full self.
You didn't answer whether or not you respect him to the same level you respect the high value man.
Well, let me tell you this. I'm going to say yes, only because I'm going to tell you this. I've dated high value men. I've dated the men with the Rolls Royces and all the cars and all the glitz and glamour. And they always thought because they had the cars and the glitz and glamour that you got to bow down to them. And
I get it. But I'm talking about the man who's working at the post office.
I would say, now, I'm going to tell you my requirements. I want you to be attractive. So if you're a guy that's working at the post office and you're attractive and you...
Hold on, let me time out. Why do you want to be attractive?
I can't have nothing.
No, let me explain. See, this is what's so wrong for so many of our women. You're supposed to be the attractive one, not us. Okay. Black women today have atavistic mating standards, very primitive, meaning I want you to look good. So he can make $40,000 a year as long as he look good.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he can make $40,000 a year. I'm not.
That's what most black men make, $42,500.
Okay, so Kevin, so are you saying in your perspective that it's over for me? Then I don't have.
No, it's not. No, what I'm saying is your price is too high.
How is my price too high?
So what she doesn't understand is that so what she's saying on one hand is that she actually is ready to make a deal. But what women want to do when they can see to understand that maybe I'm not going to get a guy that makes a whole bunch, right? But at least basically I'm going to be getting piped down good. You know what I'm saying? And he at least because she's speaking to what her only option is. A young broke nigga. If she want a guy that looks good, he's going to be a younger broker dude. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to pay. The women at this point, especially when you older, you would do better once you realize you ain't gotta pay in terms of giving a nigga, actually giving them money and stuff like that, but letting go of this sugar baby, cat baby free fantasy. First of all, let go of fantasy. But I'm gonna keep saying I think that one of the reasons why it's hard for the women to connect with the men because you're having a hard time seeing him as a full human being that has emotions that you have to consider every time. Not sometimes, every time. All right. And also speaking to that price, like I was saying before, once y'all just pretty much say, yo, if I meet you and you can take care of yourself, I think maybe his example of, the guy at the post office is a little bit extreme. Unless you talk about someone's been in for a while. I think post office jobs have steps. I think you do make more at some point. But I understand that Kevin was trying to make content. So he had being as though she's a good example of the women that actually pulls it off, that pulls the career thing off. Because most women they not getting a lot of bread like that. So anyway, so this conversation is viral in the Black YouTube space because she does a show where she speaks to single women. And the women who come on there are so ridiculous, like the women who came on Kevin Samuel's show. The people who come on there are ridiculous to the point where content creators like myself can make endless content just off this alone, right? So I want to kind of react to this whole thing going on between Kendra G and Tasha K. All right, so I'm gonna let a lot of it rock and everything. This might be my last subject for tonight. I think I might do a Drake joint tomorrow, maybe, because it's getting late. But I don't have a moral of the story yet. But Tasha K's main angle is that, yo, For one, what you're going to see play out is what plays out when women try too hard to chase a fantasy to the point where you're sacrificing your morals and you're not doing long-term thinking. All right. Not only that, just how dangerous it is for women to be dating past a certain age. If you are a young woman, I'm not saying you got to be 21 when you get married, but it would make sense to try to start looking and stop looking for a deal where you're screwing someone over. Look for it the same way that when you want to make good money, you start realizing I'm going to have to work really hard, and I'm going to have to really put my all into it to make a substantial amount of money. Once you can accept that, you will make money. Once you can accept that I have to work my ass off and sacrifice, you will make money. That's all making money is. Like this right here. If I didn't have the long-term thinking of faith to keep doing videos when wasn't nobody watching, wasn't nobody watching and commenting on my shit, wasn't nobody liking my videos, even on TikTok, I wasn't getting no love on TikTok for mad long. Now I'm getting likes on my videos finally. My numbers going up. Shout out to y'all. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. I ain't playing no sounds. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
This is what's being done out here. It's on a nightly basis.
No, Joe!
All right. Let's get back to this beef right here. Pause. So I think Kendra G got caught up in trying to change his lifestyle, not realizing, you too old to be chasing waterfalls. Ain't nothing out here for you at past a certain age. All right, young ladies out here, it's almost nothing but scammers out here for you. It's nothing but tricks. It's like tricks and schemes, smoke and mirrors. It's nothing but smoke. And not the good kind. Like, this is good smoke. And I smoke good. But not this. Not this. Not this. I'm going to let it play. So, someone did a super chat saying Tasha K getting on Kendra ass. She was dating a scammer and them cars wasn't hers. She got all that money but can't get a hair transplant. Social media is cap. So basically saying that, because a part of Kendra G's like image is luxury. You know what I'm saying? It's real like rich auntie vibes, which I don't know why y'all want rich auntie vibes. Because even like the character that y'all base it off of, her life is sad. Like why do y'all want to be alone? Yeah, black women are so afraid of relationships that y'all fantasize about being a lonely old woman. And I think y'all think that, first of all, Samantha from Sex and the City did not have a happy ending. That ending was, everything about her story was effed up. It was weird. It was weird. And that's what it's like for all the women to be dating. It just gets weird. All right? Listen, before there was such a thing as dating, women, you just stay with your man. And the men stay with you for the most part. Right? But just stay with the nigga you had kids with. All right? Whatever man you meet in your 20s, that's as good as it's going to get. Unless you like mad fat and then you lose like mad weight. But even then, you're gonna still be bitter about when you was big.
And them cars wasn't hers. She got all that money but can't get a hair transplant. Social media is cap. Damn.
Well, let's be nice. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
And apparently Tasha K has exposed what's been going
for me.
Oh, shout out to Average Man Unplugged, man. I got this off his channel.
After I literally was just
per se. But anyway, Tasha K came across some information and we're going to see what she came across. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it.
Kendra G, y'all remember when Kendra G came for me? After I literally was just being a good Samaritan by stating, after we were talking in the DM, it was very casual. I never had a problem with this woman. But a lot of people be underlying like really, really tight with my platform. Like they don't know which way I'm gonna go. How can I trust Tasha? What is she gonna expose? Like they be paranoid around me, right? And I get it, so I'm used to it. But I literally said to her in the exchange in the text messages, I said, hey, keep your man off social media. And she came back, was like, well, what that, like an hour later, well, what that mean? I was like, keep your man off social media. That's it was just saying. And so she was like, why? My friends told me that you was looking for stuff on my man. I ride for mine. Now, he ain't her husband now. He's her boyfriend. Mind you, this lady is well in her 40s, okay? I don't think she's ever been married, and this is her boyfriend, okay? So this is not a husband. Talking about me and mine, we ride for mine. He's supposedly Nigerian. I don't know. And it was just really, really salty. Then she sent me a text message of her friend saying, hey, girl, Tasha K looking for information on your man. And I was like, baby Kendra, we don't look for information on nobody. Your people send it to me. Just like your people told you that I was looking for information, they probably about sent it to me.
And I'm going to take an educated guess and say that Tasha K gave her that advice because she probably recognized the guy and knew who he was.
That made me say, okay, let me keep my eyes open for some stuff. I'm not looking for it, but when it does come across my desk, I'm going to see why she felt tight about me getting any information on her man and why she felt the need to be the dominant masculine figure to want to fight for him.
Real quick. The reason why Tasha K was able to read her like that is because Tasha K has a man. So even though Tasha K, her content is very rough, to say the least. You feel me? She has a very brash delivery, but listen, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, she knows what Black women want to hear. You know what I'm saying? But she, for the most part, is a family woman from what I can see, and she speaks highly of her husband, and she respects her husband, and she respects the men in her life for the most part. From what I can see, I know she talk a little crazy about certain people, but she's making content. I get it. You know what I mean? That's her character, right? Where Kendra G messed up at is, and again, it's the lack of maturity. A lot of times, a woman's like her self-awareness is low is when she thinks she's getting over on you, or she thinks that you don't know what's going on, or you don't get the play. You know what I mean? Basically, Tasha figured out, oh, well, you're getting really defensive about this. Like why you get upset? Or why you reading so deeply into it? She applied the logic right away and combined the two and said, all right, I'm gonna watch out for you. I want to get to this point that Tasha K is making about the front end, what it leads to.
Wait a minute. You don't find that suspicious?
She's always posting in Rolls Royce and helicopters. Before we put these out, I want you to hear how Kendra G describes her life, because she's always posting in Rolls Royce and helicopters and these ridiculous outfits that you can't buy nowhere, not even Nigeria. And she is yet to get a hair transplant to bring back her edges, so the wigs just get further and further back.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Real talk. A woman who wear wigs, you can't have a man to be wearing wigs, man. That's nothing that comes from being single too long. Like, if you've been single too long, you probably wearing wigs, and now you ain't got no edges. I'm not, if you wear wigs, I'm not dating you. Cause I'm not trying to see when a wig come off, man. That's some woman of the night type of stuff. Okay, where you get tired, you snatch the bra off. I can deal with you snatching the bra off. I can deal with some sagacious breast plopping out. I'm fine with that. I draw the line at the nasty cornrows of braids you have under there. That gym is so far from my house. Anyway, my gym closed, bro. My gym closed. For me to get to the one that don't have all the hood Black people, I'm gonna have to go to South Orange, man, and that's kind of a ride, bro. It's not close. It's like 4 miles away. I feel like it's like no fast way to get there. It's like mad lights. Anyway.
interview.
I'm gonna be able to guest co-host because things change. Things do happen in radio. They have pre-recorded interviews, but I was able to come in the next morning and still just do some talk breaks with Envy. Well, when I went in the next morning, Jess Hilarious was there. Shout out to Jess Hilarious, super talented, deserves to be her job. Like, this is nothing about her at all, right? So I want to make that clear. I think she was an excellent choice. But still, with that being said, as a company employee, I wasn't really given an opportunity to even guest co-host. Really, if I'm watching for 2 months, people getting the chance to guest co-host, and I work for the company and I gotta wait, that's not gonna happen. But literally, after that experience, I did it. And again, because I know this might go viral, shout out to Just Lyrics. That's your job. You kill it. I've always loved you. But I quit after that. Like, after, literally.
So that was the final show.
I was done. Like, that Friday, I had to go back to do one more episode in Chicago. It was May 1st, and I was going to Italy for my birthday, and I knew I was not returning. And
man, listen, I don't know, man. Listen, once somebody started capping, I can't believe anything they're saying. I mean, what really happened was, yo, that's what goes on. This is what you are at risk for when you are older women out there, right? Especially in entertainment. But I was think it's like really sad. I'm like, yo. I mean, like, look now. Luckily, she got that YouTube money. She getting the bag on YouTube, so luckily she got that. But ain't nothing sadder than seeing people, well, anyone in entertainment, seeing what life is for these people post entertainment. Because a lot of times they don't be having no plan. But what happened with that? I don't know if I call it or not, but that's real life right there. Like, fam, they went with the younger women. When she was talking to Kevin Samuel, she was 41. So she was about 45 now. They ain't trying to have no 45-year-old woman up there on the morning show. So that's not a thing. Now, I'm not saying she wouldn't be good. I'm just saying, like, anyway.
I sent my resignation letter while I was in Italy, and I never went back.
And did they try to stop you from leaving?
I left 6 months before my contract, but I didn't get no severance package. I didn't get no unemployment. So they're like, okay, girl, I walked away from it.
Wouldn't get a severance package if you walked away 6 months early.
Let me pause this for a second here. Might be. I'm hella paranoid.
Like, don't hold me to my contract. I'm not gonna hold y'all to anything. And I left and I moved to Beverly Hills, California, and I started my own company and my own
she bought
thing.
a Rolls Royce, and that was all she wrote.
Well, now they couldn't afford it. Now they couldn't afford me. But I do want to say this: life played itself out the way it was supposed to play itself out.
Let's comment because there was a lot being said there, okay, that she didn't really go into detail with. But she always makes sure that, they can afford me. I was in Italy, Rolls Royce, Beverly Hills, very, very much new money because radio personalities don't make that kind of money. I do want to tell you, before I went public or took this information on the road, when she was talking all that shit, someone I ride for mine, bitch. Don't be trying to, just doing so much shit. And I always told her, I said, listen, if I get anything on your man, I'm going to tap you. I don't look for shit. People send it to me. So when I got this email and all of the receipts that was sent, I dropped it in her DM. Guess what happened? She didn't ride for hers. She didn't book up. It was crickets.
You don't find that suspicious?
It was crickets. All that mouth that she had and mother forehead, all that yelling, can't hear herself and shit, tone deaf.
You said yelling,
saying
can't
a
hear
mother thing. She knew I was on tour with this shit. We got emails and all this shit on your boyfriend, not your husband.
She said she talk like she can't hear herself.
Husband, but your boyfriend. Hey, how was that Kendra G scrutinizing women about their requirements and preferences in a mate when she's parading around Los Angeles and being love bombed by Hush Puppy Jr., the Nigerian Deo, aka Donovan Johnson, aka Don Johnson, aka Reginald Green, aka Terrence Reed, aka James Wright, aka Timothy Price, and the list goes on. She is head over heels in love with a notorious scammer that recently came home from federal prison for bank fraud, credit card fraud, wire fraud, identity theft, and money laundering. Her Instagram is at Kendra G. It's Scam Central.
Oh my God.
Little ninja. I see you, little crusty ninja. And sooner or later, her cookies get crushed.
Yo, did Kendra G's cookies get crushed? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Look at me. Did her cookies get crushed? I think Kendra G's cookies got crushed. Stop chasing waterfalls and live a regular life and have fun sometimes. Y'all folks, listen, that's not real. That's not real material. That's not real, bro. This is why this lifestyle that y'all want to portray a certain lifestyle on social media will lead you to doing illegal things or things you shouldn't be doing, trying to keep up with the Joneses. And the longer women stay out there, for one, they wind up, if they can, now she's someone who actually managed to make shit work for her. It wasn't for YouTube. So the substitute teacher pool you go. Your ass be out here waiting, shit, washing tables.
You was washing tables.
Washing tables.
You was waiting.
Nigga. Niggas can't fuck.
And scream scam likely. So when I did drop this email in her DM, as I told her I would, and text her, she didn't say a goddamn thing. But she had a lot of mouth trying to keep me or trying to scare me from even receiving this information. That
means she was talking to her heavy today. Yo, she not being, whenever people start talking like that means they was talking crazy. You understand? But real talk, though, before we close out, man, the reason why I want to get into this story and I wanted to look at this is because I want Black people to really go about getting wealth the right way, go about having a good life the right way. Look to give someone a good deal, a good experience. Look to be the hero in someone's life. It can only benefit you. You have to look at life in a way where you say, I will do this thing because it is a good thing. And it's worth doing this thing because it's a good thing. You understand? And I don't like this stuff because, again, it leads to people breaking rules. These are people not paying their taxes. Leads to just trying to skip steps because you don't want to wait the 5 to 10 years. Now I'm your Horenge. I'm glad that I've been able to stay on this road for this long. And now it took me this long to see progress, like a lot of progress. And thank you to everyone who's been watching the content, man. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all.
Goodness, you've had your surgery.
We're good to go.
Thank goodness you've had your surgery.
We're good to go.
Get up and get out of them relationships like that.
You here, bro?
I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying?
I am the fucking clock. I've been doing this shit a long time. Come outside. Y'all niggas see what they throwing out the window? Nigga, I got an army out here. Come outside. Come outside.
Got an army out here, baby. Yeah.